when I was young, like a tween, um, I would draw yin yang signs all the time. The symbol that was a circle on the squiggly and the black and the white with the black dot and the white dot. All the time. I thought they were super cool. And actually, in the 90s, in New Jersey, South Jersey, it was like the cool thing to do. Not that I was a super cool person, but it was the cool thing to do to have a backpack, a JanSport backpack, and have all these iron-on patches on the backpack. And so I even remember this little like beach shop that I would go in and buy all these patches all the time and iron them on my backpack. But my favorite was this yin yang. And it's funny because as a kid, I thought the meaning behind it was so cool. I forgot who taught me it, but I remember them saying, "In every good there is bad, and every bad there is good." And now as an adult, really understanding that really that's the darkness and the light merging together and having the balance and each other within each other so you can understand how to define each other. It's just so profound. And that symbol, just like the peace symbol, is universal. And so to have that universal symbol where I know what that means and the Chinese man knows what it means and the Turkish woman knows what it means, but we don't know how to communicate with each other through our mother tongue, but we can sit in a room and stare at the symbol and get it. It's so beautiful. And this just kind of really further instates what I believe, that if you reflect back to what you think about or where your mind went as a kid or what you held on to or really enjoyed as a child or teen or just a younger version of yourself, you'll know that it's far deeper than just a fad. It's a message from your soul reminding you of who you always are and what you have always been and what you will always be. And we continue to evolve to get to this definition. And part of my soul is understanding the beauty of unity and balance. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is because there's a specific style of yoga that honors this. And if you're new to yoga or you only kind of know what the general population knows about yoga, the stereotypical definition of yoga, which I knew that for so long actually. I thought yoga was sweating in stretch pants and crazy poses with the leg behind the head. And I was completely intimidated and didn't want to do it, actually. Yoga is far more than that. But more so, there's specific subcategories and styles inside of yoga. So you can think of yoga as ice cream. And then, yeah, ice cream's good, right? But then we have this specific style of ice cream or taste of ice cream, this flavor, this flavor, this flavor. And certain people like this flavor of ice cream, right? So with yoga, we have our different ice cream flavors. We have this style, and this style. And as you become more comfortable with it, you'll start to be able to distinguish the different flavors, I guess we can say. And there are many styles, which inspires me to do a video on that in another day to kind of define the main styles that are out there, because I've made many mistakes. Many mistakes as a young yogi. I just went to a class thinking it was yoga, and I went to a class and I was like, what the hell? You know, it's like ordering ice cream and you get like something you hate, like rum caramel ice cream, when you really wanted chocolate. You're like, what the hell's this? And so I've gone to many classes that were too hard for me or way confusing or just super like weird, that didn't resonate. But it's all yoga, so you feel good at the end. Just as it's all ice cream, you feel full at the end. Anyway, the style is called Yin Yoga, Y-I-N. And if you've never taken a Yin class, I highly suggest that you do it. Just Google for Yin Yoga class in your area. You can send me a message in San Diego. There's a few good places that you can go. I personally don't teach the style right now at a studio. I just do it privately, and I do teacher training sessions, something to talk about, to learn the style of yoga. And basically what it is the yin to the yang. So we think about yin. Yin is slow, is lunar, is the dark, right? Part of the yin yang sang. It's the emotions, it's feminine, it's soft. Where yang is fire, active, daytime, sun. And so we need both. You can't understand the moon if you don't have the sun, right? And what this style of yoga does is honor the yin part of us, which we highly, as a modern society, neglect really, from my perspective in my own personal life. and then working with people throughout the country and the world, really, I see it the same repetition over and over again, and it is, we are too yang. We are too yang of a society. We are too yang of a world. We are too much of this fire, this aggression, this anger, this anxiety, this go, 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 this must do, this money making, this push, this not enough time in the day, not enough hours in the day, sleep deprived, insomnia, coffee alert species, as opposed to movement with rest. And you can tell if you personally are too much yang. If anything I just said resonates with you, that's your regular life. You're always fire and go. 2, if you have insomnia or you can't fall asleep, that means you can't turn down the yin, so there's an imbalance there. If you're a night owl, if you're someone who stays up super late, that's in balance with the yin yang. We should sleep and rise with the sun to live in balance. I know that's hard in modern society, but close to it. You know, people that are up till 2 a.m., especially people that work at bars, it's hard, or like nightclubs or the nightlife, it's hard to encompass this yin and yang when our natural clock is thrown off. It's not wrong, it's just, it creates an imbalance easier than those of us who don't live in that way. But just being in our head a lot, thinking a lot, constantly doing this thought process of analyzing or going in the back or the past or the future is very yang. And if you're a type of person who thinks your relaxation is to sit down and watch TV, this is yin in a sense. But if you sit down and watch TV and then fall asleep within a half hour, you're too tired. You don't even give the yin quality of your life. Sleeping is not yin. Sleeping is health. Sleeping is a part of life. Just as we need water and food, we need to sleep. So that doesn't count as relaxation. Taking a nap is not relaxation. That is health for the body. And so relaxation is being calm, being lunar, being still, but being conscious and being awake for it. So this style of yoga, really, it's more than restorative, which is a different style, which is just calm and slow poses. This style forces you to sit still, sit with yourself, release, because release is a part of yin, let go, and that's going to stop the yang chattering in our head and the conditioning and expectations and habitual practices that we have that make us want to go, go, go. And so how does this style work? Well, it was derived essentially based upon the yoga practices that were brought up 5,000 years ago, but then specified and researched and perfected, I guess we can say, by 3 men. And what they did was they studied the poses, the physical poses. This aspect of yoga really honors the physical. And then they chose about 28 or so poses that are safe to hold for 3 to 10 minutes. So you're actually holding a yoga pose for 3 to 10 minutes, if you can believe that. I took my first yin yoga class years ago by accident. It's funny, it was at a yoga conference, and I saw yin yoga, and I was like, oh, yin, I like that sound. Probably connecting back to my yin yang teen self. And I like yoga. Sweet, I'll do that. I go there. There's 60 people in the class. Put my little mat down. Stoked, ready. The teacher, he's actually a really famous yin yoga teacher. He wrote a couple books on it, Steve Ross. And I didn't even realize or recognize that as the time, but now as a yoga teacher, that's like a celebrity moment. His style is very like, it's very masculine. It's very raise your hands, forward fold. There's no floweriness. It's just instructional. And so he tells us stand up and then forward fold. And then he says in his very stern voice, we're going to be here for 5 minutes. And I, true to my personality, start laughing because I laugh when things are uncomfortable. And I started cracking up, and I swear to God, a room full of 60 people, no one laughed. It was just me. And I was like, shh. I quickly shut up, and I thought in my head, oh shit, he was serious. This dude isn't joking. I need to hang upside down for 5 minutes. And then my mind starts getting extra yang. I start thinking, oh my God, I'm going to puke. I'm going to get dizzy. I'm not going to be able to hold this. I start, scratching myself. ADHD all comes in and all this yang stuff. And I'm going to run. I'm going to leave. I want to leave, roll up my mat and get the hell out of here. What is he doing to us? And then after like 2 minutes, it was complete surrender. The mind started to hush and something magical happened. I was able to be in it at that moment, and physically what was happening to my body. Because when you think about exercising and working out, we do these reps with our muscles to build the muscle. That's how it works. You spend about a minute, really 3 minutes maximum, of building muscle mass by doing repetition or holding for that set period of time. But to get deeper, the muscle, you can't do much after. It's pointless after 3 minutes. It is. What happens is the release goes deeper. It goes to the bones, it goes to the joints, it goes to the ligaments, it gets into the blood, it releases in the organs. And so when you stretch for long periods of time, deeper release happens, and the body, your body, is a story of your life's emotions, what you have felt and seen, and what you cannot release is held in these parts of us. And so what Yin Yoga does is not only brings us the balance to our Yang, it teaches us to sit with ourselves, which is very difficult for a Yang society. It also allows us to release and let go. So doing this, energetically, all the energy lines, the meridians in your body start to release. This brings health to your organs. Mentally, things start to shift and slow down. And you start to feel like a floating angel, I guess you can say. It is just so amazing. And the class is that. It's just, generally speaking, you do about 7 poses. Because if you think about a 60-minute class and you're each holding them for 3 to 10 minutes, that's pretty much all you can do. So it's not many poses. Most of them, there's only 2 standing poses. The rest are seated or on your back or on your belly. And it's just like lulling you to sleep. Yoga orgasm of a class. Just incredible. It's my favorite style of yoga. In fact, I do it every day. I hold one pose, depends on the pose, child's pose, pigeon pose, for 10 minutes a day. I just dedicate 20 minutes of my morning to that, and I feel released. I'm letting go of these things that don't serve me anymore. That's holding and living in my skin and my muscles, my hips, my shoulders, etc. So why am I writing this video? One, I truly believe in Yin Yoga. I think that everyone should experience it. It's beautiful. It's great for people of all ages. It's especially good for children to slow them down. It will be difficult for them, but to create that habit at the beginning of life, mind control and focus will help them in school. It's beautiful for seniors and people that are older, because their body has a lot of chronic pain. Anyone with chronic pain, it's beautiful for, but generally speaking, it's awesome for everyone. I'm in my 30s. I love it. I do it all the time. Men, women, it's not intimidating. You will sweat if you're a very young person because you're letting go of things. And so it's possible that it will be more challenging than holding a plank or doing sit-ups or things that are yang. If your personality is yang, sitting still is difficult. I'm actually doing, and I do yoga teacher trainings for just this style of yin. It's a yin yoga teacher training, and I actually throw in the Reiki component of it because as we're releasing, energy is being released, and then I feel it's a beautiful time to go in and just kind of mellow out the energy. So I do Reiki in the classes in my private sessions when I do this on people. It's really awesome because you're releasing and then you're putting back in love, you're putting back in balance, so then you're not left empty, essentially. And so my yin Reiki trainings, I always have one going, and they go in 3-month intervals. And so what we do is we meet for 3 months. There's 3 parts. You get a manual that I wrote each part, and we meet only 2 days a month. But the 2 days a month we're sitting with the poses. So there's 28 or so poses, and we sit with each pose for 10 minutes. You're going to sit and take the training, and you're going to sit in child's pose for 10 minutes. You're going to sit in pigeon for 10 minutes, and you're going to see what happens and how you feel. We cry, we scream, we get frustrated, we heal, we laugh. All this stuff happens. It's so powerful. And then you'll reflect on each of the poses. So you create kind of like a book where you tell us, we really analyze the science behind it, whereas anatomically what's going on here, physically what's going on here, energetically, chakra-wise what's going on here, emotionally what did you feel, and then how is that correlated to an organ, because each organ actually represents an emotion. And we get into the deep meaning behind each pose, and then you really become masters of these poses just by sitting with them. And more so, you learn to become a master of yourself because you learn to sit with yourself. What pisses you off? Why does this happen? What is this related to? Where is your tensions? And then here's the medicine. How can we let that go? And so the training costs $100 deposit, and then each part is $300. So that's $1,000 for the whole thing. But it's done slowly, payment plans. And you, like yin, we slowly sit and then release, and then we let it marinate. You sit with it, and then we meet for the next part, the next month, the next part, the next month. So if you look on my website, yogawithshauna.com, you will see the dates for the next training. And no, you don't need a yoga teacher certification to take this. You don't need to be previously certified. It's great if you are, because then it's just another style that you are certified to teach. You can't teach Yin Yoga without a Yin certification. This training is also good for people who just want to learn the style or need more Yin in their life. My teacher trainings are more therapy than anything else, because I believe a good yoga teacher is not someone who can memorize certain things, read a book, and then recite it, but instead feel it, learn it, and grow, and then from that be the doctor that can prescribe it to their students, because they know the shit works. And so really we work on healing yourself the whole period for it. And actually, you can take this training online as well if that's something that you're interested to. We just do it through email and some videos and such. So if you're interested in that, just send me a personal email at info@yogawithshauna.com. Otherwise, just think back to that little yin yang in your life, and just always try to find the balance with the dark and the white, so that you can be this full, well-rounded circle, this unity being where there's balance. Because what happens when we have too much yang? We crash and we get depressed. That's where depression comes from. The fire gets burnt out. There's too much. We run ourselves on fumes. And so this teaches us how to invite the yin in slowly and softly, and bring balance into our lives.